This is our 7th year of the Referral Partnership, the beginning of our 7th year, so Barbie has been with us since the very beginning.
I'm glad I haven't done.
She has numerous awards for interior design, specifically doing it eco-friendly, and she's one of the best at that. So not only is she a great member of the group, but I consider her a very close friend. Let me introduce Barbee James. Take it away.
Thank you, Dan. After last week's presentation, it's been kind of like, oh my gosh, who could ever compete or be up here and follow what you did last week? But to what you are doing, I just want to applaud you. Thank you so much. And from that to my material world is going, whoa, this presentation with the material world. And that's what I live in, is the material world of creating people's homes that are more comfortable, more sustainable, and hopefully more functional for them and add the beauty. And what's interesting about how our, maybe we do need the lights down. The way TRP works with referrals is very interesting. Back in 2011, I did a master bath remodel for this couple, and a couple of years before that, I did a entertainment design for them, and Jim mentioned my name to them again. So this couple hires me to come and do their home. This was the previous, what I did then, and this is what they asked me to fix. This kitchen was a kitchen that was not functional, had a drop ceiling at 7 feet. It was one of these homes in Wonderland that had the whole grid of fluorescent lighting in the ceiling. And so when the previous owner decided to get rid of that harsh light, they dropped the ceiling down to 7 feet. So you go in that kitchen and you felt like, whoa, this doesn't feel expansive, it doesn't feel, just feels ugh. And you can see the clutter, you can see, and actually they're not that cluttery compared to some of the clients I work with. But the window was the original window here. Notice that window. That window, when we changed it, changed the way you looked out and what their view was. This area right here where the microwave is on the bottom, we opened up that as much as we could with the ducts and the piping that were in there just to let light through, to add interest. The doorways into the room there and over here, both were like 28 inches. You walked in there with your groceries like this. And so we expanded the openings for the doors, coming in and both ways in and out of the kitchen. And we opened up the ceiling, and we put a hole in the wall there. The process. First of all, you get your permit from the city of Boulder. Then you work with the clients to decide how the layout's going to be. This layout was a little bit more difficult than your traditional layout for tile for their backsplash. This was 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 versus yours traditional. That was a nightmare for the poor guy to install. But it took the clients down to Denver to pick out their granite. They chose not to go granite. They chose to go with an extremely high-end marble. The daughter picked it out. I'm going, this is not a forgiving product. You spill anything on this, it will penetrate in if you don't clean it up immediately. Even with a sealer on it, marble is not forgiving. In Europe, it's all over the place, and it's all over Europe. It is. And it patinas, and it looks beautiful. But if you want this perfect countertop, don't use marble. And they actually love it. Here's the kitchen after of what we created in there. And the window. Notice the window. Before, that black outline that made you come into the room. The white painted window makes you go outside. It does not stop you. It brought the outside in and brought you to the outside. The client We went for a refrigerator that's a very tall 24-inch wide refrigerator that's 80 inches tall. It's energy efficient. You can see the hole we knocked through into the other space and added some interest and fun there on that end of the kitchen. We put in glass doors so that they could have some place to display their beautiful things. And what you don't see is a microwave. The microwave's hidden behind that appliance garage. So the countertop does not feel as crowded. And this family was, and they actually called the other day and said, Barbie, we don't like the inexpensive soap dispenser. We want the soap dispenser that matches our faucet. I've never had a client buy a $2,000 faucet for a kitchen sink before. This kitchen turned out to be a $50,000 kitchen because they chose high-end everything, custom paint colors, everything that's a fireplace sink.
It's white.
Huh?
It's white.
It's gray on the cabinet.
Everything about it is completely custom. The sink is a fireplace sink, which is a lot more expensive than just buying a cast iron sink or a stainless sink.
Say that word again, please.
Fire clay.
Fire clay, okay, yeah. So like
And
porcelain.
in the faucet, I want to tell you about the faucet. Waterstone is the company. It's a U.S. made faucet. No parts are from a foreign country, which is really wonderful. Its retail value is $2,100. I was like, whoo! So now they're buying a $250 soap dispenser. I put in a $40 one. They want the top of the line. That faucet is like the Tesla of faucets. It's pretty amazing.
Does it clean the dishes for you?
It does not do that.
That's awesome.
But it was really fun to work with this couple, this family, because the daughter was a very big part of it as well. Because they all three made the decisions what they wanted. And everything in it was very fun to do because they, at first, were worried about money, and then they just said, let's just do what we want. Thank you for allowing them to have the money to do it, or helping them get the money to do
No,
it.
they actually work for it, believe it or not. They do quite well. Is this the, back one please, Barbie. Is this the appliance garage in the photo on the right to the end of that cabinet underneath the?
Yes.
So the
Okay.
middle button
I got
is
it.
the,
Yeah, and it flips up like this and goes back.
Oh.
Has electrical in there. They bring their toaster out, their blender out, but and the microwave stays in there.
Ah.
So it's all hidden. It's not on your countertop. It's not, you know, microwaves on the countertop are not very attractive. This kitchen did not have enough footage to give them the storage they needed to build it in anymore. This kitchen, to give you an idea, is probably, I know it's 110 inches by probably 110 inches each way. It's a very small kitchen. We have cabinets now that go up 8 feet. They have storage up there for the things that they didn't have storage for before. And another part about this group is Myers Skidmore laced in the hardwood floors and refinished the hardwood floors in there where we took out walls and expanded the door openings. We had to lace in the wood, and you cannot tell it was ever done. Looks like it's all original. The before and after. This is a house that this family's very concerned about energy and the environment. Everything we did was as green as we could possibly do. All LED lighting. The undercab lighting that you see in the finished picture is all LED. The wood floors have a green finish on them. Everything about it's pretty much green, as green as you can get for doing a kitchen remodel.
I have a question for you. So you design everything and then you hire everybody to do it?
Yeah. There's the faucet, that gorgeous faucet. And it doesn't feel like this giant, huge thing like a commercial one because it is made for residential. The paint colors that we used in this home were, we did everything white except for the cabinets to make that stand out. And this family also, because I know how important the environment and reusing is, I try to come up with client gifts at the end of the project for a client. And I've been working with the Washington School Project, the redevelopment of that school, and worked with many of the different residents that are living in the school and also in the private homes. This chalkboard we gave them as a gift, because they wanted chalkboard to write notes on, is taken from the Washington School old slate chalkboards. And another client said, Barbie, I'm building a house that's going to, or a thing that's going to look like a house that's going to be one of the lending libraries in Boulder to be over at the Washington School site. And I'm going to use chalkboard from the house for the roof. And I said, can I have a little bit of that scrap? And that was our client gift to them, and that is over 100 years old. The building was built in 1904, and so they have now a sustainable chalkboard in their kitchen to write their menus on. And this is the note that came from the clients at the end. Okay, any questions?
Were you able to repurpose any of the rulers from the Washington School that the teachers used to enforce discipline?
You know, we haven't been able to find those. I think they hid them because it's illegal.
So all of the space that you created on the oven side of the kitchen was basically, did you reduce the size of the oven as well? Or
No, I
did you
didn't. I just,
so you just went from a 36 inch to a 24 inch wide refrigerator?
well, and I also, I'll show you in, I don't know how to do that.
Just click post.
Barbie, I'll just tell you, every time I see an example of your work, I'm just awed.
Where's that?
See, it's.
Oh. Oh, right there. Thank you. Know what, Jim?
I say, every time I see an example of your work, including work you've done for me, I'm just in awe.
I know, it's awesome.
Well, thank you. As you see, Gordon, going back to your question, see how thick the wall was over there, that was going into the dining room? The walls, we opened them up,
You
and,
just moved that door jammed, or the door.
well, and that wall I moved, because there was all this extra space in there, and that was for ducts and stuff. And then now the code, the more efficient, you can do smaller ducting. And so we took about 6 or 8 inches into that wall. We were hoping to get 14 inches into it, we couldn't. And, because it's actually a 22-inch wall, which is quite a big wall and it was on both sides. And we had water pipes and we had ducts and all kinds of stuff going up in that wall. And you can see where we were exploring to see how much space before we started the project with the hole in the ceiling there in the one picture.
Hey Barbie, you said that it was a $15,000 kitchen, basically because they went all high-end and stuff. For something like that, what's more of an average cost? What would be more expected for a project like that if you went?
If you went more like 35.
35?
Could be 40 depending, but what you get into, but something and the other thing that we had to do in this home is their electrical. The home was originally built in the 70s, and none of their electricals. We had to redo the entire electrical panel.
Oh, wow.
For the whole house? Well, that's not, I mean,
That was
that's a big chunk of that 50,000.
that was 6,000 to redo the whole thing. And
Did they have aluminum in there?
they had aluminum in there, and they had not enough circuits to even power what we were putting in the kitchen.
Well, let alone the rest of the house.
I'm always impressed with the gorgeous work that you do. And I'm curious, so you do both commercial and residential. Which do you prefer? Do you have a feeling one way or the other?
I think what I like working with the people and creating the spaces for the people. And so I'd say residential, I think I prefer. There's also, the con to that is you're in people's personal space and they get real emotional in that space. But it is, I think, the most rewarding because even though there, as you were saying, you know, with real estate, people that get through, like, they're in a construction project, they get all flipped out. Oh my God. And then at the end, they're like, oh, this is so great. You know, so.
When you do a project like this of this magnitude, do you do it in stages or you just go in and do it, and then how long is that kitchen non-functional for the people living in it?
It was non-functional for probably 4 weeks. We, to get all the details of stuff completed was probably about 2 months. You know, because there's always this and that. You know, we started the project We were, that we were tracking the window, it's supposed to ship. They didn't ship the window till a week later, which did cause some conflict. Because it was like, we can't put that whole wall in until the window's in. We can't do anything. And so you have those kind of things, like the faucet. It was a 2-month lead time just on the faucet. And they didn't pick the faucet till we started the project. So my vendor gave us a temporary faucet to put in so they could actually use the kitchen. But to get, the new faucet, now I would say we're not completely finished because we're now putting in a $250-something soap dispenser. I'm like going, I guess once you start to touch the fine qualities of a faucet, you want it all to go together, but it was beautiful.
Thank you very much, Barbie. Excellent.